Hello, everybody. Welcome to this convention prep episode of Beware the Board, a horror podcast. We watch a randomly selected horror movie every week. I'm Bob.
And I'm Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Bob.
Oh, my God.
There's different energy levels because I had a good night at work. Bob did not.
Yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad.
But we're here starting this recording session at 6:30 in the morning, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's late for us. Normally, we start the first one. We never record 2 in the morning. That's a lie. The first at like 6. Ben usually gets here at 6. We normally go, start at 6 and then are done by 4:10, hopefully. Unless it's a long movie.
4:10.
Done before 10,
Oh.
hopefully. Normally, we're done around like
I was like,
9.
oh my God, I'd quit. I'd just say no.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Anything you want to talk about that's important and or interesting?
No. It's hard to keep up with news when we're doing 4 episodes a week.
Yeah, I don't have anything either. I can't. Actually, no, that's not true. I have one thing. I want to talk about. I sent you a screenshot of it. What is it? What is that movie? Is it called Talk to Me? I sent you a screenshot. Apparently, it's some fucking horror movie that came out and is absolutely fucking batshit terrifying. It's called.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I just thought I should bring that up because I've been seeing people talking about it and I don't want to watch it now.
I haven't seen it.
I know you haven't seen it. But actually, I have another thing. I lie. I have plenty of things. I'm just stupid and forget that I have them.
I usually go, let's save these for the actual episode, and then I forget.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's why I always ask because, like, I got to spill the beans sometimes, you know?
Because, I told you this off the podcast because I kept forgetting. And I guess I'll say it on the podcast now. So One Cut of the Dead, which we reviewed here. Good movie.
Oh, great movie.
Either just watch the actual movie, or if you're feeling generous, go watch our episode after
Yeah.
you've seen the movie.
Please watch the episode after the movie.
Yeah. Because spoilers. Like, heavy
The
spoilers.
heavy spoilers.
But it's great. And it's a pretty recent movie. Like, what, 2016?
2016? Yeah, I think it was like 2016.
Something like that. Super recent. And for whatever reason, it's getting a remake, like, this year.
Yeah.
So, what is that? Either 5 or 7 years later?
Yeah, like,
depending.
That's really really quick.
And that's really quick. Now, keep in mind, it's a foreign film. It's from Japan.
Yeah.
So, that usually accelerates, like, remakes. I mean, look at the early 2000s with, like, the J-horror craze where we got a bunch of Japanese remakes. And, that really can speed up the speed of how fast something gets remade for, like, a different audience, right? And that would make sense if this remake was, like, an American film.
I was wondering when you were going to get to this.
But it's not. It's French.
Yeah, a French remake of a Japanese film.
Is kind of bizarre.
It's interesting. We haven't watched. Are there French horror movies?
Of course, there's French horror movies.
No, but like, are there?
It's France.
Are they good?
Oh, I'm sure some of them are good.
Okay, I didn't know if there were any like really famous French ones because there's some really famous Italian ones.
I mean, keep in mind, it's France. Like, basically, cinema comes from France.
I guess that's
Lumiere
true.
Brothers,
Yeah.
Anyways, point of the being, it's a French remake, which is fine. I have no issue with that. It's just
interesting.
Normally, I'd expect a remake to come from like an American studio because, like, first of all, money.
Yeah.
But also, like, studios in America know that the average American just doesn't want to read subtitles or watch a movie that's foreign, and so you can make a lot of money by showing someone a good movie just, like, remade in English because they refuse to watch it.
It's stupid.
Which is stupid, but is a valid way to make money.
It's a valid way to make money, but people who do that, I'm sorry, but I hate you.
Anyways, the French one, though, is kind of interesting because it doesn't have that reasoning. Because I can't imagine the French market for film is any bigger than the Japanese market.
They're probably similar. I would say similar, but maybe not.
Probably smaller because Japanese stuff tends to have a big market in the States.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I was just going off of like size. Like France is bigger than Japan.
Is it?
I would assume so. Japan's a series of islands. France is
Japan is a couple islands, but it's one big island.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
I'm not good at geography.
Yeah, but I think Japan just has more people though, because the population density is really high. Anyways, long story short, don't know why it's being remade in France, but also like super soon after the original. It's just kind of odd to me. I'm gonna watch it anyways.
Yeah, I want to watch it. We should watch it on the show.
But they dropped a trailer recently, and I watched it.
Ooh.
And it looks like a higher budget version of the original. Like, the trailer looks pretty accurate. Like, some scenes I was like, ooh, this isn't, like, scene for scene, but it's very close.
Then what's the point of making it?
But just French. Like, there's a French vibe to it. But it's still like super super close. And so having seen that, I'm wondering like how close of a remake it's going to be, cuz there's some super super close remakes that are scene for scene, and then there's some that are wildly different, and I'm leaning towards it's going to be super super close, which isn't a bad thing as long as they add new stuff to the film.
That's what I'm wondering is if it's too close, the original is so good, why would you make it?
But then in either case, even if there's enough unique things, and I appreciate that and I like it, if it's super similar, it's going to come to that point of why was this made? Because it's only been a couple years.
Yeah, and the original still fucking slaps. Like, even, like, you could look at something like Halloween and go, I mean, they made Rob Zombie made a remake of that. That's an old film created in a different time, so remaking it has some value to modernize it. Well, but also to modernize it and make it more applicable to a modern audience. That One Cut of the Dead is so new that, like, it doesn't even have that benefit.
Right, and Rob Zombie takes it and does a super different spin on it.
Yeah, not one that I like, but it's different.
It's different, and I'll just have to see with this film.
I'm excited, actually, about that.
It's cool, but we'll have to see, because I don't have mixed feelings on it.
No,
It's cool either way, just because that film has some technical stuff in it that's pretty interesting. And that'll be cool to see, even if it is scene for scene. I'm just like...
I'm cautious.
Cautious, yeah, that's probably the best word.
I worry that it might not live up to expectations, but hopefully it's still cool. Okay. I have one thing I want to talk about. Oh,
French... It's called Final Cut.
Oh, it's just called Final Cut. Okay.
Yeah, it's a different name, but thought I'd mention that now. Anyways, go ahead.
So, I had a friend over, and we were just hanging out. We were kind of bored. So, I have some Blu-rays from the show. I threw on Splinter again. I haven't rewatched that since we watched it on the show.
Who was it? You can bleep their name, or just mouth it.
I mean, his name is Wyatt. I'll just say his first name.
Okay.
No one really knows who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you don't even know. It's true, I don't hang out with Wyatt that often. He was over Sunday night, we all played board games, and he slept over, and then we hung out the next day.
Fair enough.
But I rewatched Splinter for the first time since we watched it on the show. I appreciate that film a lot more now.
Is it the practical effects?
Yeah, man.
Well, hey, go watch Splinter and then go watch our episode.
Yeah, go watch that movie. That movie I was surprised by how much I was like, wow, this is actually way cooler now that I have a lot more, like, stuff to build a retrospective on about that film.
Yeah.
The movie slaps, man.
For anyone who wants to know, the big selling point of that film are practical creature effects.
Yeah.
They're really great.
They're awesome.
If you like practical effects for, like, creature stuff, I know some people think they look, like, goofy.
Yeah.
And that turns people off, but if you're a fan of it, that's a really good movie for that little itch.
I literally saw, like, one of the bodies, and I went, God damn, that's good. I was like, fuck.
I know which one he's talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about, bro. It's so fucking cool. Anyway,
right.
Go check out that movie. It's super good. I think that's it.
Okay.
Now we can finally get to the podcast part of the podcast.
Woo. All right, so don't even need the intro to this, but we're doing Hatchet 2 today.
Oh, fuck yes.
And then, we got 3 and Victor Crowley coming up.
Oh.
But Hatchet 2 is a 2010 film.
I'm so excited.
So it's, 4 years
4
after
years,
the original?
Man. 2006.
So it's been a little bit. Although I will say, from what I could find, and I couldn't find a lot again, because I think a lot of the information for this film is on the Blu-ray and stuff. But it seems to be a lot of the same crew as the first film.
Okay.
It was kind of like a big thing for the director to have him back. But, description. Time to go back to the bayou.
Wait. I just thought about this.
What?
You scammed me.
Why?
This could have been in swamps.
No.
But it could have.
But it wasn't going to be.
That's upsetting.
Because
that's really upsetting.
Wouldn't have made sense.
Okay.
I think I explained this to you, I think, off the podcast, but I'll explain it to the audience now who are watching this non-board episode, so this explanation is going to probably be buried. But, I create the lists for what goes on board spots. You know, whether I'm doing, like, one movie per spot or multiple movies or whatever. But one of the things I'm probably never going to do is put a sequel or, like, some later movie in a franchise in a board spot, because that requires pre-knowledge
but
to
we
appreciate that film.
Watched Hatchet.
Yes, but for, like, the audience perspective, that's not great, because, like, that means the audience has to go back and probably watch however movies there were before that.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
Which, I mean, in the case of Hatchet, that's one movie. But what if I had a spot and I was like, let me throw Friday 12 on here?
God
then I was
damn.
like, now you have to go watch a bunch.
1 through 11.
Right. That's not a good example because Friday 12 is a remake, or a soft reboot. But I think the point still stands I think that's a bad precedent to set.
Okay, that's fair.
Additionally, and this is like a double whammy for Hatchet. We watched Hatchet as a special holiday episode,
Okay, yeah.
and so that's also a weird thing of going, hey, I know you watched The Board, but you gotta go watch this special episode to appreciate this one.
I will say, it's like our best performing video. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very well performing episode, so I don't think anyone would mind.
No, but it's kind of like a bad precedent, I think.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm just salty that Swamps has not been a better category. That's all.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like if we hadn't watched Hatchet already, Hatchet would have been a spot.
Oh,
And since we already have done 2 spots, probably Hatchet 1, 2, 3, 4 would all have been right there.
nice.
But we're knocking those out now, so it evens out. We
Yeah,
would've
it
watched
does
them
even
at
out.
about the same time. All right, length, it's an hour and 25 minutes long.
Okay.
According to IMDb, the ratings are, which is a little iffy because I assume that means there's an R-rated version. I also know there's an unrated version.
Oh,
We're probably going to be watching the R-rated version today
but
because I'm not sure if we can find the unrated version.
I hope
not
we can.
on Blu-ray,
Find the unrated version.
but we probably can't.
I want it.
But we're probably not going to watch it.
I hate movie ratings sometimes.
It's fine. It's just like, you know. There is an interesting thing I found about that, though, of, you know what's the fun part about unrated films?
What?
Movie theaters don't like to play them,
Yeah, we talked about this.
but it's still better than NC-17 films.
Oh, yeah.
Which they just straight up won't play. From what I could find, and I couldn't find a lot of information on this, but I found enough to feel comfortable saying it. Apparently, this film was being shown at a bunch of theaters unrated. I think it was, the director made a deal with, like, AMC,
Oh, hell yeah.
where he was like, hey, we want to screen this film here. Will you let us? And AMC was like, sure, it's unrated, whatever. We like the film, so we'll let you screen it there. And it only screened for like a handful of days before they were like, this is a little too much. And it got taken down from basically every theater.
And you're going to make us watch the R-rated version today?
I'm not going to make us. I'm just like, we probably can't find it. A lot of like unrated films usually can only be found in that format on like DVD or Blu-ray.
I'm going to have to buy so many unrated Blu-rays. That's all I have to say.
Versus like the standard like movie theater TV cut is usually the one that streams places. Same thing with director's cuts. Like
Yeah.
I love me a director's cuts. I think they're not always as good as the theatrical cuts, but a lot of times it's fun extra content.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times they're hard to find on like streaming platforms and stuff, which is where we have to watch films for the podcast most of the time. But like you can get them super easily on like Blu-ray.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I'm just sad that we might not get to watch the unrated version of this
It's
film.
availability issues, but we'll mention it if we can find it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Anyways, review scores. IMDb gave it a 5.4 out of 10.
Okay.
Tomato meter gave it a 42%, and
Okay.
audience score gave it a 36%.
Jesus Christ.
It's about the same as Hatchet.
Yeah. I just was look, I guess I assume people who are watching it are people like me
No.
who enjoy the first film so much.
No, I mean, like, the tomato meter score and the audience score are a little bit lower than on Hatchet because it's a sequel, so that's just a standard thing. But, I mean, no, the average audience for this film is not the intended audience for this film.
That's fair.
Just because, I mean, I think most people would stumble on this film and go, oh, it's like a Friday the 13th knockoff. I'm going to watch it. And then it's like a bad Friday the 13th knockoff.
But that's the charm, Benjamin.
And understandably, that's probably worth a 40% or whatever. But if you're in the intended audience, you go, oh, yeah, there's some issues with these films, but they're totally on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fun. Which, I mean, that's a good way to bring this up. If you haven't seen our Hatchet review, no for Hatchet 2, because we always recommend you go watch that before you listen to our actual review of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a film intended for people who love, like, B-movies, and very specifically, like, B-movie slashers, and, like, not Grindhouse specifically, but, like, cheaper kind of horror films, like V8 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of intentional, don't want to say issues,
Gags?
but, like, quality homages
Yeah. Yeah.
that are very reminiscent of stuff from those, like, styles of film. Which, if you don't like those styles of film, are just like, this is bad.
Oh, but I love them.
But if you know going in and you like those things, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a horror film made for horror nerds, especially because there's a lot of like references and cameos and stuff like that. Awards, it has 4 nominations. Notable actors. Now, I'm specifically going to be mentioning new actors and not anyone who returns.
Okay.
Well, Kane Hodder
Okay, he's still here.
is
We're
you
still
know,
good. Okay.
Victor Crowley.
Nice.
I you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
gonna mention that, but I just did.
Well, yeah.
But that's my standard thing for sequels is I usually won't mention
Mm-hmm.
who is in it and who's gonna reappear. Because sometimes there's like spoilers in that.
Yeah.
Like spoiler for the Halloween franchise when Donald Pleasant shows up
Yeah.
in Halloween 4,
Oh.
and it's like, oh my god.
Look, if he's in Halloween 6, I'm going to lose my shit. That's all I have to say, because he should be dead now.
All right, first one. Danielle Harris as Mary Beth Dunstan.
No.
She played Tosh Guarneri in Urban Legend. Who's Danielle Harris, Bob?
A lot of different people, Ben.
But who did we last see her as?
Last?
Yeah.
Jamie in Halloween 5.
Yeah.
I had to think about it. She's been in a lot of stuff lately. We've been watching a lot of films with her in them.
Yeah. It's interesting to think about. She's probably one of the characters that's been in the most Halloween films.
Yeah, she's in Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then Halloween 4 and 5?
As far as
four
you know.
of them.
Yeah.
Well, Loomis is in 1, 2. Well, he's not in 3. He's only 1, 2, 4.
He was in 5.
Not 1, 2, 4. 1,
Yeah.
2, 4, 5. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
so they're both in 4. She might be in 6. She's probably in 6.
Yeah, as far as you know.
Yeah. Unless they kill her immediately.
I do want to mention that one because it's a different actor than the first film, which
Yeah.
was Tamara Feldman.
I'm
And-
pretty sure that's the lady with the purse gun.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
who is obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact reason. I think it was medical stuff.
Oh,
So,
that sucks.
but I mean, Danielle Harris kind of looks similar.
Black-haired woman.
I know, but they
They
kind
also
of look
do
similar.
kind of look similar. You're right.
I've seen this stuff. She does a good job. Next, Tom Holland as Bob. Not that Tom Holland.
I was like, no fucking
Not
way.
that Tom
In 2010, Tom Holland was like 11 years old.
Yeah. Nah, this is old Tom Holland.
Oh,
And
old
You'll hear
Tom
me make this
Holland.
joke again with Tom Holland because he's a horror guy. The bigger franchise he's associated with is Child's Play.
Oh,
He was the director of the first one.
oh, that's really cool.
Now, I think it's important to mention that he isn't a part of the group that is responsible for, like, all the Child's Play films.
Okay,
He's just responsible for he just worked on the first one.
but I've heard the first one's like the best one.
Probably, because, I mean, like, first one.
Yeah,
But he was only, like, one of 3 writers. And
Okay.
he was the director.
that's cool.
So, yeah, no, it's cool. I just want to stress, like, he's not, like, it's not his baby in the same way it is the other guys who are
Yeah.
responsible for the Child's Play films.
I bet you he was pissed when Tom Holland got cast as Spider-Man. He was like,
Pretty
God
funny.
damn these young sons of bitches.
Now, I will say, Tom Holland signed off on the Child's Play remake. So,
Oh, that's real cool. How nice. Okay.
well, I was
don't-
gonna say, when we get to the Child's Play remake, you can let that color your view of Tom Holland.
Oh, okay. Well, John Carpenter was like, yeah, Rob Zombie, do your own thing. And those movies were, the first one's okay. The second one's
We
bad.
can have a Child's Play debate once you've seen Child's Play.
Really? That is one of
Because
those.
I'm trying not to talk about too much because I'm like super familiar with the franchise.
I mean, I've
and they-
seen one of them.
Probably the first one, right?
Nope.
Which one?
Bride.
Oh, it's a weird one to start with.
It was not my
And
choice,
you probably
Ben.
only saw some of it, right?
No, I watched the whole thing.
Really?
It's not scary.
Wow.
It's just an interesting movie.
Yeah, that's not funny. It's not a scary one. Yeah, I don't want to get into a big Child's Play talk because that's like a super interesting franchise, and there's a lot of like background stuff going on.
Yeah. That's one of those ones that I really want to cover, but I'm so scared of the first one because I think I'll
good.
cry.
It's good though.
Yeah, I've heard it's very good.
Got a cute kid actor in it though. There's like adorable,
Okay.
but does like a good job.
Oh, wow. That'll be nice.
All right, R.A. Mihailov, Mihailooff.
Why'd you say H like that?
H.
Cool Whip.
Cool. Well, no, that's not Cool Whip. That's just Cool Whip. H is just like not American.
Yeah, I know. It's like how British people say Z for Z. Or put U in the word color.
Well, that's
or
a common
U
thing.
in armor.
See, that makes more sense though because that's how it was originally spelled.
I don't care.
And then we spell it without the U. You know why, right?
No. When America went, fuck you, we're not British anymore.
No.
We changed the spelling?
No, it's probably the most American thing ever.
Okay.
Back in the day when we were like using like when we were printing in like newspapers and stuff,
Yeah.
it was more expensive to use more letters.
That is very American.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's why a lot of our spelling is just like standard British spelling,
Truncated British spelling.
but just minus letters that would have made it make probably slightly more sense.
God bless America. I love this country.
But he's playing Trent, and I'm going to spoil this for you now because you wouldn't have gotten it otherwise.
Okay.
He plays Leatherface, and Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's a Leatherface actor.
Texas Chainsaw 3, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
not 2.
I know you like 2 a lot.
I do like 2. Now, 3 probably has the coolest promo ever.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
which I doubt we'll watch the promo.
When
we get to that
might do it
episode.
after if it's cool enough.
I
Is it cool enough?
It's pretty cool.
We might watch it after.
I mean, I could just tell you, but
I
or
don't.
do you just want to watch it when we get to
Well-
the movie?
Is spoiler?
No,
Sure. What is it?
it's like kind of an unrelated scene to
Awesome.
the movie. It's just really cool.
Okay.
Leatherface. Oh wait, spoiler, guys! If you don't want to hear this cool promo thing, because you can go watch that right now.
True.
It's like a minute long. There's just a short clip of Leatherface pulling a chainsaw out of a lake like it's fucking Excalibur.
Oh my God, that is pretty fucking
It's
cool.
so cool. All right. Next, AJ Bowen as Layton. He's Crispian in You're Next. Ed Ackerman as Cletus.
Is that who is Ed Ackerman?
I don't think anyone you'd know.
That name is familiar. I don't know why that name's so familiar.
I don't think it's anyone you'd know, Bob.
Okay. Sorry. The name stunned me.
He played Jason in Frozen, not the animated Frozen,
A scary movie, Frozen?
the scary movie Frozen. Yeah,
Okay.
we've already talked about this film on this
We
podcast.
talked about it a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, you remember?
A little bit. Yeah.
Colton Dunn as Vernon. He played Garrett from Superstore. He was on 113 episodes from 2015 to 2021.
I never watched that. It looked mildly okay.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the those office-based kind of shows.
Yeah.
Where it's like a workplace
Yeah, but it's just like a Walmart.
drama comedy. Is it a Walmart or is it like a
It's not
Costco kind of thing?
I don't know. It just looked like it could be a Walmart.
I mean, it's a superstore.
It's a
so
superstore,
that's
yeah.
basically, yeah. Catherine Fiore as Cheyenne Crowley. She played Jane in. You know how there's sometimes. Wait. Well, the movie she played Jane in is The Hottie and the Naughty.
I hate that name.
Yeah.
That name is ass.
Yeah. You know how sometimes there's movies where you see stuff about them and you're like, what? Who let this get made?
No, it's one of those, huh?
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a film. I'm just gonna describe this to you right now.
Okay.
It's a film about two best friends. One's really pretty and one's not.
Wow. How creative.
The quote unquote hot one, I think, is Paris Hilton.
Okay, that
'cause this
makes
was
sense.
like the early 2000s, and then the other one is
Probably someone equally as hot.
yeah. But the whole thing is they put like the most disgusting, like over the top, like makeup stuff they can do on her
Oh
without
my
making her
God.
like monstrous, and it's just like over the top and mean in like the most effed up way possible.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And to make it better, the main character of that movie, and this is actually really relevant to Hatchet,
Oh.
the original one,
Okay.
is played by Joel David Moore, who played the main character of Hatchet, Ben,
Oh, okay.
who is just kind of a sleaze in that movie.
Awesome. Jesus
not-
Christ.
Not a great movie. Would never talk about it, except the fact that character's in it, and a character from the first film is in it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Shit comes around.
it's kind of funny. Emma Bell as Parker O'Neill. She's in Final Destination 5 as Molly. So
Oh, we need to
you
get
know.
there.
character from a franchise I like.
We
All
need
right.
to get there.
Writer director is Adam Green, same guy as last time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
He also directed 15 episodes of Holliston between 2012 and 2018. According to IMDb, kind of confusing because the show, the last season, looks like it ended in 2013,
Huh?
but I'm not sure where this. I think there must have been some content that came out in 2018,
Yeah. Or they brought it back for something.
but there's no like extra season listed.
I
And
don't
the
know.
last episode produced looks like it was made in 2013. But a couple actors were also listed as having been on stuff between 2012 and 2018.
I don't
so
know. That's weird.
Either it's one masked error or something else. Thought I should mention it. Budget estimated at $800,000.
Still less than $1 million, baby.
Yeah. Box office $156,190
But
roughly. Yeah. Not great, but essentially a limited release film.
yeah.
I mean, This was never going to be like a major release film,
No.
like a Hatchet film, just for like what it is.
But I wanted it to be.
But it kind of sucks because it released in a lot of places before getting taken down. I heard from somewhere, and I can't substantiate this at all, but it was like the most widely released unrated film since, I think, Dawn of the Dead.
Holy shit. I mean, Terrifier 2 probably beat that.
And Terrifier 2 probably beat that, yeah.
But, like, god damn it.
Terrifier 2 100% beat that.
It definitely did. That movie was fucking everywhere.
Probably the most released unrelated film, I'd guess, ever.
Yeah, I mean,
if I had to, like, guess without
I was
looking
seeing
at
like
paper.
ads for it in theaters.
Because it was, I think it, like, basically every theater for a while, which is insane.
crazy for an unrated film.
At least in the States. Country of origin, United States. The alternative title is Adam Green's Hatchet 2.
Okay.
Pretty basic. Tagline, hold on to all your pieces.
I'm maniacal laughing because I'm really excited to watch this film.
I know you are.
Oh, you know what would be tragic, Ben? I'm sorry to interrupt you again.
What is bad?
If this is like a Return of the Living Dead Part 2 situation, and I just want to blow my brains out by the time the film's over.
Well, I mean, it's the same, like, director and everything.
Yeah, I know, but like, what if they just like made it real goofy for no reason?
I mean, the first film was kind of goofy.
No, but I mean for like no reason.
Yeah, but like, so it's the same director and writer, so tonally it's probably going to be very similar.
I hope it's
'cause
coherent. That's all I
They
have to
made
say.
the first film.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't want a Goosebumps episode where they get lost in the swamp, okay?
Well, you know, if we open up and we're following children around, that's how you know.
Ugh.
Goosebumps. That should be your next category on the board.
Goosebumps? No, my next category, I've already picked it, and it's scary.
Ugh.
It's scary, Ben. My next category is very scary.
It's Goosebumps.
It's a much better category than Swamps.
It's not a high bar.
It's okay, it's not a high bar, but
What?
I know you'll like some of the movies in the category.
That's good. Anyways, first fact. First fact of the day. I don't have a lot.
I mean, yeah.
In fact, I have two. Apparently, so sometimes you have films that go through a lot of hoops to keep, like, the details of the scripts under wrap.
Okay,
That's actually, like, a very common thing nowadays with the internet. 'Cause
that makes sense.
It's very easy for, like, stuff to go from, like, on set to just in the wild.
Yeah, isn't bringing back Tom Holland? Didn't he get in trouble for like leaking a bunch of Marvel stuff on the internet on accident?
Yeah, he has issues. Young Tom Holland has
Yeah.
issues keeping his mouth shut about certain things. I
Yeah.
think because he gets excited or he just forgets he's not supposed to talk about
He
stuff
just talks about things
during,
on the
like,
internet.
interviews, and he's
Yeah.
just like, this is common knowledge, right? And everyone's like,
You guys know this
No.
happens in this movie that hasn't come out yet.
which I totally get. That's completely fair. It's just funny. But no, like, people leaking scripts and stuff like that
Yeah.
is pretty common, and it is very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can impact, like, how a film does, but it can also get people to, like, overhype or, like, crap on a film before it comes out.
Yeah.
And then there's worse stuff, like, what was that, Halloween? Rob Zombie's Halloween, where, like,
Oh yeah.
the
What
what was it? It's the cut right before the theatrical cut.
Yeah, it has a name. You told me and I can't remember.
The one they used at, like, screenings.
Mm-hmm.
But that got leaked online.
Yeah.
Anyways, leaks are an issue nowadays with the internet. But this film went through a bunch of hoops to, like, keep details of, like, the script and stuff under wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently the crew didn't receive copies of the script until, like, they needed to, like, film. And the majority of the cast only received, like, select pages where their lines were on.
God damn.
Additionally, like, fake scripts, fake endings, and fake storylines were circulated
What the
around.
fuck?
Not, like, on stage, but, like, the industry.
They went through so many things to keep this secret.
On top of that, like, no visitors or guests were allowed near the set during filming.
That's crazy.
Okay, it sounds crazy, but it's not. That's actually pretty common now, especially with
Sure.
horror films where you can have, like, twists and turns and surprises and all that. And in franchises, it's fine in first movies because no one cares, but in franchises where people care a lot, it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
someone's digging.
I guess I do care a lot. I wouldn't want. Look, I see spoilers for movies. If someone somehow spoiled Hatchet 2 to me, that might be the most upset I'd be.
Yeah.
Because
Well-
I'm just like, I want to see this movie. It excites me. Don't you dare.
But imagine if it got spoiled for you before the film came out.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
That's
Both
much
for
more frustrating.
Some fans are into that, but that's frustrating for some fans, and also, like, everyone who works on the film. That's really upsetting. That happened for Scream 4.
Oh, did like the killer get leaked or something? Like who it ended up being?
Well, if I remember right, there was multiple fake scripts made to prevent that, and someone leaked the real one.
Oh,
I
that
think that's the story.
blows.
If we get the Scream, I might be able to talk about it again because I'm just going off like
yeah.
memory. But there was a frustrating situation with that film because again, big series, people care about it, so
Yeah.
people are digging. It's also a big issue with like all the Marvel films and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
'Cause people want to know. And then my last fact is that Adam Green. We talked about it on the original Hatchet episode, but one of his other films is called Frozen. It's the ski lift film.
Ah, yes,
Stuck on the ski lift and stuff. That came out in 2010, same year as this film.
Oh.
He was working on them at about the same time. And in fact, it was kind of up in the air for a little bit whether he'd write and direct Hatchet 2.
Oh,
because
wow.
he had already committed to that. But because there was like some conflicting issues, the filming of Hatchet 2 was split into 2 parts, with filming for Frozen stuck in between.
That is interesting.
So they filmed some of it before he had to work on Frozen, and then some of it after.
Okay.
Which is interesting. All right, that's all I got.
All right. I guess we'll see you guys after the movie. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We just finished watching Hatchet 2.
Woo. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Bob, right now.
Up. What do you mean? I think that was expected from the audience and myself. Up.
All right.
If it was down, I would be so upset right now.
Fair.
I would be so upset right now.
You wouldn't say anything for the rest of the recording.
We've had so many shitty movies lately, dude. Like,
not so many. Just a handful or two.
yeah, okay.
All right. I guess I'm going to go into description,
Yeah, sure.
like plot rundown. As always, go watch the movie before I give this plot rundown because spoilers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Gonna spoil the whole film. So
Not that complicated, man.
No. But cold open, it starts off right where the last film left off.
We almost didn't
With
watch
like, yeah. Shut up, Bob. I'll get to that.
it. Ow, don't kick me, fucker.
Fuck you. Interrupted me, ass.
I didn't know if you were going to mention it or not.
I was, but
Okay.
you ruined my thunder. I was gonna get.
I'll-
Fuck you.
I'll cut it.
Crazy Train crashed. All right. Basically, it starts off right where the last film ended, with Victor Crowley just his screaming face, and it would have been a great, like, shocking opening. See, this was my transition. I had it planned out, you bitch.
Okay.
It would have been a great, like, shocking opening because I think it was shocking for you when you saw it
Yeah.
for the first time. Except for whatever reason, when we clicked play on the movie, it started us at the intro credits,
Yeah.
which happened after the cold open. So about 7-10 minutes in,
Yeah.
so I realized pretty quickly,
Mm-hmm.
like 3 minutes.
Well, you looked
later.
at the movie and said, "We're not 15 minutes into this movie. What the fuck?"
Well, no, I realized I was like, I knew about. I've seen this film, so I knew the cold open.
Yeah.
And I was like, we haven't seen this. I don't think it was a flashback later on in the film. What's happening? I checked and we're like, we were not 15 minutes in.
Mhm.
It did something funky. So by the way, heads up for that. If you're watching this we watched it on Amazon. It's free there if you have Prime. Good idea. But it starts off right where the last film ended with Victor Crowley just screaming at Mary Beth as she pops up out of the water. And obviously at the end of the first film, it's implied that like he kills her. But
Yeah.
in this one, Mary Beth takes her thumb and shoves it in his eye. And so he just falls out of the boat and just disappears.
Yeah.
Assumedly, how Victor Crowley works, we might as well establish this right now because it's well established in the first film, and I'm assuming you've watched that.
Yeah. This is the second one.
That's the basis here. He's a ghost, and in this film, they give him the name of like a repeater. But the idea is he repeats the night of his death over and over and over and over and over again every single day, which torture because it happened like had
a
to be
while
like
ago.
half a century, maybe
Yeah.
40, 50 years. Because Robert Englund old.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked old in this film. It is like late 50s. But anyways, Victor Crowley repeats his death over and over and over again. But he's like a physical ghost. So
Yeah.
he's basically like a living person, but just like trapped in an endless cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And point being is you can hurt him and you can kill him. But assumedly like his body despawns.
Yeah, he just gets back up.
I don't even think he gets back up. I think he just like poofs out of existence when no one's looking at him.
You made a fucking spawn camping reference in the
I timestamped it.
middle of the episode.
I think he just despawns when you walk away from him.
And then he just reappears back somewhere.
And then he reappears probably back at his house because that's where he died.
Yeah, or in the
somewhere in
swamp.
the swamp because he's he spawn locked into that region. Anyways, I'm pretty sure she like thumbed his eye and
Yeah.
he just drowned because
just
he
fell in the water.
disappears.
He always be doing that though.
I know, but like only like when he's sneaking up on someone.
Yeah.
He disappeared in the middle of a chase, which
Not normal.
is why I'm like he probably drowned because of like the paint, because he takes damage.
Yeah, he does.
Anyways, she gets picked up by Jack Cracker.
Jack
Yeah!
Cracker, piss drinking psychopath.
He's not a psychopath. He is piss drinking though.
He is piss drinking.
And, he gets her in his little canoe and takes her back to his house, and he tries to help her and like be like, all right, well, you're lucky to be alive. I'm always warning people not to go in the swamp. And they're like, Jack Cracker, you're crazy.
It's true, he does.
He's like, here, take this. It's warm. Gives her his piss jug.
Oh,
She almost drinks it a couple times.
I was very scared she was going to drink the piss.
But eventually, she tells him her name, Jack Cracker, her name. She's like, Mary Beth Dunstan. When she says her last name, Jack Cracker freaks out. It's like, get out of my house.
Get out now.
Takes his shotgun. It's like, you walk down that road. You leave.
Kicks her out.
Kicks her out. And then, spoiler here, Jack Cracker gets murdered.
It's a good one, too.
It's a good one. And it's implied that, like, he gets killed specifically because he helped out Mary Beth.
Yeah, he even, like, goes, like, I didn't do nothing about it. I didn't know her name. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Which is, like, a cool thing because for how long Jack Cracker's lived there, it's implied that he was safe.
Yeah, Jack Cracker was chilling.
And so he fucked up once, and it's like, boom.
Got Crowley'd.
Because assumedly, he lives probably outside, what is it? Something.
Oh, like honey dump island?
Honeydew Island? I don't know.
It
Basically,
has a dumb
the
name.
swamp has a name,
Yeah.
and Victor Crowley's bound to the swamp. And I'm not sure what Jack Cracker's deal is, but assumedly he lives outside the swamp.
Yeah.
Since he was safe before. Anyways, when Jack Cracker banished Mary Beth and saved her life, because he's a great piss-drinking man, even if he did it unintentionally, he was like, you go talk to Reverend Zombie. Because she was like, what's wrong? Why are you, like, freaking out? And Reverend Zombie is...
Tony Todd.
Yeah, he had a small cameo in the first movie. It's
Yeah.
great. And so Mary Beth basically wanders back into New Orleans and is able to talk to Reverend Zombie and is like, tells her about the boat and everything, which, Reverend Zombie's upset. Not because people died or his employee, Sean.
Also died.
But because he lost a boat.
Look, boats are expensive, man.
Fair. That was not an expensive boat, though.
No, absolutely not.
I can't imagine Reverend Zombie spending money on anything.
That boat was probably less than $1,000.
He might have stolen that boat.
He probably did steal that boat.
Or just wanted to give, like, rigged blackjack.
Yeah.
But through a combination of blackmail and everything else, Mary Beth is able to convince Reverend Zombie to basically help her go back into the swamp. And Mary Beth implies that she's doing it solely to, like, retrieve her family's bodies.
Yeah.
Who we see die in the cold open of the first movie. Her dad's
Robert Englund.
But she also implies that she's just doing it solely for revenge.
Like she's going to kill a ghost.
And, Reverend Zombie agrees. And he basically goes to gather a hunting party.
A posse, if you will.
He insists Mary Beth go and grabs her uncle. And basically they reconvene at 2 the next night. Now, I'm going to mention it here. And, again, spoiler warning here. Because it's a funny joke. You're not expecting it.
It's a good bit.
But the person who gathers up the hunting party is another of Reverend Zombie's employees, Justin, who is
Sean's brother.
But not just Sean's brother, Bob. What is he more specifically?
It's never stated that they are twins.
Oh, but he is 100% Sean's identical twin brother.
Yeah, he is.
Because they are played by the same actor.
Same actor.
Perry Shen.
Yeah. I knew I recognized that name in the fucking title sequence. I was like, who is that? I can't remember who that was.
But yeah, it's a very funny joke
Yeah.
And I always love that, seeing like the same actor playing a different character, especially in a horror franchise where that character died.
Yeah. It's good.
And no one else like mentions the fact that they're just the same person.
Yeah. It's good.
It's great, especially when it's also the same character. Like these characters were different. But, Anyways, they reconvene the next night. Basically, like, this whole party comes to, like, Reverend Zombie's house. It's a bunch of people. It's like
a fuckload of people.
20, 30 people.
That's a lot of people.
And, of course, obviously, the second Reverend Zombie's like, hey, we're hiding Victor Crowley for $500.
Most of them leave.
In fact, there's
really
only,
funny.
There's only, like, 10 or 11 people who actually go into the swamp.
And honestly...
And 2 of them are, like, Reverend Zombie
And Justin.
Justin and Mary Beth.
Yeah,
That's
and then
three.
another one of them is just some lady trying to go on this trip because she wants to hang out with this guy.
Yeah, but she's actually going for the hunt. I
don't think she's actually going for the hunt.
I just meant 3 of the people out of that 11
Yeah.
had to go.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they go into the swamp and they get killed.
Yeah, people die.
That's the plot of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we just gave you the backstory, which is, I don't know, the first 20 minutes, and everything else is just swamp time.
Swamp time.
There's only one thing else I want to mention here before we get into like actual reviews here, and that's the fact that there is a subplot in this whole intro where we get to learn more about like Victor Crowley's backstory.
Yeah.
With another flashback. So that's really cool.
It is
I
cool.
just wanted to mention
It's very
that.
cool.
All right. With that over with, I guess we're going to get into our actual comments on the film.
Mm-hmm.
Straight off the back, practical effects.
Man, they're good in the original. They're really good. Like, they do, I don't know what I guess the difference is budget.
Yeah.
So much better in this.
Straight up, the practical effects, gore practical effects specifically, live up to the hype of the first film.
Yeah.
Which was uber gory, but all practical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this film's very much in the same vein. The main difference between this film and the original, and this is a thing like overall, is budget.
Yeah.
This film, just you can tell just looking at it, looks and feels a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily like a bad thing. Because again, you have to remember the first one the first one had a bigger budget at like 1.5 million.
Yeah.
So about twice this one, but just looked a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because they just chose to spend their money differently on this one or, like, had access to cheaper materials or something. But, like, all of the kills feel so over the top and gross. And they did in the first one as well, but they just look so much more visceral and intense.
Yeah. And I will say, we watched the rated R version and not the unrated version.
Very sad.
But all the kills are still there.
Yeah, they're still there.
You can tell where they cut scenes, but they're usually just in the middle where the actual kill happens. And they don't take away from it, but there is just like some gore missing. I thought that was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I do want to talk about, I guess, the appearance-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I think this film's a lot more approachable than the first film.
Yeah.
Because, as I just said, the budget in this one's lower than the first film. But they specifically made this film look less cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a stylistic choice. And, to be honest, it takes away some of the charm. If, like, that B-movie kind of low-budget aesthetic is what you're going for.
Yeah.
However, it is a lot more approachable and fitting for a second film in a franchise than that cheap aesthetic.
It feels, I said this during the movie, it feels so much more like a film than the original. Like, the original is a film, but it's sort of like, feels like a cobbled together sequence of people getting annihilated, which is fun and I enjoy. But this actually has, like, plot and story and like characters.
Yeah.
It's so much more of a movie than the original, which is cool, and I know why they did it. I
think you had to do it though.
Yeah.
Because the sequel has very different rules than a first film.
Mm-hmm.
And since you already have the building blocks for a story, you really have to roll with it. And that makes it an actual movie, and you actually have to make it look like that.
I think they did a really good job of actually giving like a backstory for Victor and like doing cool stuff and giving an overarching like story in this one than the first one.
Yeah, I already mentioned we get to see a flashback again, and it really does expand on stuff without breaking the rules. Pretty great.
Yeah.
You know, aside from that appearance stuff and, you know, gore and stuff, I think the only other thing really to mention here is the fact that characterization in this film and just like the characters that are in the hunting party, you know, like the main people we get to watch for most of the film who go into the bayou are all, personally, I think, a lot more interesting than the first film.
Yeah.
I think they're about as well written as the first film. However, just as a whole, they're a more interesting cast. I think in part because they're less realistic in this film than they were in the first film. The first film was like a collection of people just going on a boat tour with a few people that stood out as like just completely over the top, but still realistically there. Like Sean's the really big one. In this film, it was a bunch of like, not cartoon characters, but like very stereotypical like horror movie characters.
Yeah.
Like the horny pair, well, very specifically the horny woman and the man she's trying to get with. The big silent dude, the goofy idiot.
Oh, God, he's so good, though.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum are very good too.
The hulking badass.
The Hulk, see, that was the cool one. He was actually cool. I'll give him
Justin.
that. Justin's there. Reverend Zombie's there too.
Yeah, but a lot more interesting, and that just made all the dialogue between the characters, I think, a lot stronger than it was in the first film.
Well, also, like, they did a very good job of pairing them off into different sections of people that bounce off of each other really well and interact in funny ways that make, and be honest, the dialogue in the first one is fine. And, like, the characters are fine. But this one, they're a lot more dynamic. And they work with each other a lot better, and it just makes it feel a lot better when you're like in the first one. You're kind of stuck with like one or two people. It's pretty boring. You're basically just waiting for Victor Crowley to show up and kill somebody. But in this one, it's like, oh, I'm entertained by what they're saying. They're actually like being entertaining during these moments of downtime that aren't just violence.
Exactly. I think in part it's because these characters are a lot more unique. You care about them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I do think the dialogue was about a similar quality as the first film.
Yeah.
But in the first film, we really only care about Ben, his friend. Wow, what's his name?
I don't remember his name, man. I genuinely don't. It's been so long since we've seen that film, I genuinely could not tell you. I only remember Ben because it's your name.
Marcus.
That's his name.
Yeah, but we really only care about Marcus, Ben, Mary Beth.
Yeah, Mary Beth.
And Sean, because he's funny.
Sean is very funny.
And like their dialogue between each other is all interesting, but everyone else kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to mention? I mean, I don't really have a lot to say about this film because it's simple, like in plot-wise.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a slasher film, and it's also a sequel slasher film, so all the groundwork's been done. And, like, the first 20 minutes are the setup for this film.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's really just a continuation of the first film.
I will say, there's a lot of really good callbacks to the original film in this.
Yes.
Lots of really good, like, setup stuff that, like, especially, I guess sort of spoilers, but in the cold open, there's something that's really, really fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a moment where, I don't know if I should spoil this or not, because...
Don't.
Well, but you didn't even catch it. Like, as someone who's seen that film you didn't even catch that shit.
Yeah, but I have a bad memory. They used a similar trick they used in the first film to save money.
And it's so good.
Which Bob was, apparently specifically was like, is the exact same shot.
It's the exact same shot.
From the first film.
Yeah. Basically, in the first film, you reuse a shot multiple times, and it reappears in this film in a very funny moment.
And I think, again, that's mostly because this film, rather than a sequel, is kind of doing the Halloween 2 thing of it's a continuation.
Yeah, and I think it does a very good job of being a continuation of the first film, but adds a lot of actual story and movie elements to it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it takes off right where the last film ended, which it does a very good job of because it's a different main lead actress in that scene.
Yeah.
And they have to, like, reshoot and everything. Anything else?
We haven't talked about Victor Crowley. I don't know if he doesn't, I don't know if he looks any different. He feels different in this.
I mean, the makeup's a little bit different.
The makeup's a little different, but he just looks a lot grosser, I guess. Maybe that's because we watched the original in SD. Because
Did we watch it in SD? I think we had to.
I think we had to because it's the only thing we could find.
Which might also affect like how we viewed that first one.
Yeah.
Like, quality-wise.
But once again, Victor Crowley still looks awesome. Kate Hodder does a great job.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, though, is he's a lot more focused on in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a sequel, and in the first film, and this is a classic slasher thing, which Bob isn't necessarily super familiar with now. But in like the original slasher, it's usually more about the characters. But once you get to the sequels, it's more about the slasher himself.
Slashing.
And so you usually tend to do more close-ups on them.
Yeah.
In this case, that happens too. So a lot more like close-up shots of Victor Crowley's face and everything. I think that's why it seems grosser.
Yeah, but still very good. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't wanna put this out there, but like he might be #1 slasher for me right now that I've seen.
Well, yeah.
Because like who
You're
am I sitting
standing on Michael and him.
And Michael after 2 is pretty whatever. So
how the mighty have fallen.
How the mighty have fallen.
All right. Anything else?
We haven't talked about. I mean, we kind of talked about it, but not that the acting in the first one is bad. It feels a lot stronger in this film. Like because you're getting because it's like actually a movie. Feels like there's actual emotion from these people, and like not that it's amazing, but it's a lot better. It feels a lot better at least to me. Like especially coming from Mary Beth and oh god,
Bob?
Kane Hodder.
Oh.
Like the flashbacks with Kane Hodder are actually like, man cries. Like
yeah,
he cries.
But I mean, Kane Hodder's great. So.
Kane Hodder's just great in general. I can't wait to meet that.
So
man.
is Tony Todd.
Tony Todd's also good, but like I don't know, the acting just feels a lot more
genuine
in this film than in the original. Because the original, it's just like people getting murderized, so like it's fine.
My favorite.
Yeah, it's great. Like I like watching that. But this one, because it's actually a movie that has a story, the acting feels more nuanced, I guess, which is a plus.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, you're done?
Yeah, sorry.
Also, yeah, I kept going, anything else, Bob? And you're like, yeah.
I got more.
Anything else?
I like
Yeah.
I like this movie. It's
I
fun.
know, I just wish I didn't have to be, like, pulling it out of you like teeth.
You.
Cold War torture session, Bob. Gotta
Ooh.
rip them out.
Ooh.
I also got the car battery with the clamps.
I don't know. Ooh.
All right. I guess before we go to our recommendations and our ratings, two funny things I need to mention.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if you've put them together yet, but maybe our audience hasn't, even if you have. First of all, first movie there was a Ben, and in this movie there was a Bob. Pretty funny.
I didn't think about that.
Nah, yeah.
Oh, why do I gotta be the old man?
'Cause you suck, Bob.
I just have an old man name. That's all it is.
But I think the most important thing about this movie.
That wasn't the most important thing.
No. And
I make myself laugh. I'm sorry.
not really a spoiler, but I don't know if you realize this, but this movie is literally Candyman and Leatherface versus Jason Voorhees.
God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. That's cool.
It's just kind of
Damn.
continuing a tradition for the first one, which we got to see Jason
Versus Freddy
Freddy.
Krueger, yeah. Except, not the movie. We gotta watch that at
Not
some
Freddy
point.
versus Jason.
Yeah. Which I've seen that movie.
Have you?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Oh.
Of all of them that I've
You've seen bad ones in franchises.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's fun.
It has some issues. That is what it is. It's a lot
It's
of fun.
It's not a good movie, but I
But
had fun
you know
when I
what you're
watched it.
going in for Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, you're gonna watch people die.
Bob didn't, but he watched it anyway.
Yeah, well, once again, look, I told you earlier in this episode that I had seen Bride of Chucky. Same friend. His family was just really into horror movies,
Fair.
and I would just go to his house.
Bad
and
one
then
to start
They
on.
would just throw on random ass horror movies.
Not that I hate Bride, but that's a bad one to start.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
I know, but you should just start with Child's Play.
Well, I hadn't seen. They were just watching horror movies.
I know.
Like I've seen part of Piranha 3D because they had that on.
Ugh. Not a great franchise anyways.
Yeah.
But any film where it's the third one and they go 3D.
That's also where I watched the Friday the 13th remake.
Mm,
also at his
makes
house.
sense. This is all lighting up now.
Yeah, I just ended up there and they were watching horror movies.
Okay, recommendations.
Okay. If you like the first one,
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
that's a very obvious one, but if you enjoy the first one, I think very good, continuation of that. If you're a fan of practical effects and gore in movies, I think it's a pretty solid for that too.
Oh yeah. If you can watch the unrated version because you get the full kills.
Yeah.
Obviously. But
if you
ours free. So
Yeah, that's fair. If you're a fan of slashers and you haven't checked out Hatchet or Hatchet 2, check them out. I think they're pretty decent slashers.
I mean, it's
from what I've seen.
It's a slasher franchise made for people who like horror and
Yeah.
slasher franchises.
So if you're a fan of slashers and you haven't seen either of these films, check them out.
because the kills are ludicrous and over the top, in the most I've seen 40 billion slasher movies
Yeah, they're
kind of
awesome.
way.
They're so fucking cool.
They are
man.
double-digit Friday the 13th level kills,
Yeah, so much blood.
except bloodier, just B movie levels of blood.
Yeah. If you like Tony Todd and Danielle Harris, they're both in this movie and they're cool and they're good. I like both of them in this movie. I'm just
Didn't mention Kane Hodder or
well, yeah, Kane Hodder's there too. But
Kane Hodder probably gets more screen time than both of them.
well, yeah, but I guess when I think of Kane Hodder, I don't.
He's a stunt actor, I know, but
yeah,
still.
this doesn't pop into mind. You know what I mean? Because he is Victor Crowley. He does a very good job, but he's also he's actually not himself. He's his dad, who is what's his name? I don't remember.
Thomas, right?
Yeah, Thomas Crowley. Yeah.
Wow, I knew a name for once.
I was surprised. You beat me to a name. That's surprising. But yeah, if you like Kane Hodder, Tony Todd, or Daniel Harris, they're all in this film. They're all great.
Or Leatherface.
And the Leatherface actor whose name I can't remember.
Mihailov.
Oh, I'm never going to be able to pronounce that. So he's also in this. He's also good. If you like all those people, they're all horror people. So seeing them all in a movie together is really cool. I don't know if I have any more recommendations. I think
Okay.
that's it.
I think you covered all mine. If you've seen the first one, you liked it, go watch
Yeah.
this one. Especially because it's a direct continuation.
Mm-hmm.
Good back-to-back film here. If you like slashers and practical gore, great for that. Again, find the unrated version if you can. Because the an emphasis of this film is the kills. You really want to see the full cut of them. The R-rated version isn't bad per se. It's
No.
definitely watchable. You had a good time.
It was fine, yeah.
But the more the better in this type of film.
Oh, yeah.
And I think really the big recommendation when comparing to the first film is if you want to see a more polished and a approachable version of Hatchet.
That's fair.
That's what this is. It's basically they worked out the kinks simply because the first movie it's kind of parodying. Yeah, period. Oh my god. The first film is a parody of like B-movie slashers.
Yeah.
And so it has a lot of the tropes of those films.
Which I like.
This film has the tropes of a slasher sequel, which Bob isn't familiar with, but I'm just telling you right now. So they're two different beasts, and at the end of the day, a slasher sequel is usually a lot more approachable, and that's why this one is. That's why there's a different feel anyways. It's because it's basing itself on a different type of film.
Okay.
If you're wondering about the differences. So yeah, for that. And then obviously the last one is you want to see all these famous people on screen together. It's great for that because at the end of the day, this is a horror film made for horror fans. There's a lot of funny jokes in there and references. Like one guy's like, I'm from this town, which just happens to be the same town that Leslie Vernon's from.
Yeah.
And he even mentions Leslie Vernon, which is another slasher villain from
At one point,
a great film.
one of the guys goes, "What is this, Victor Crowley? Some kind of Jason Voorhees?" And the guy goes,
It's
"Kinda."
the same guy who's from the same town as Leslie Vernon.
Yeah.
Chad, right.
Yeah, Chad. Stupid fucking
Yeah,
name.
lots of little references and jokes. I mean, hell, even the fact that, like, Candyman and a Leatherface actor and are all going against Jason Voorhees is a joke put in there for horror fans.
And a child survivor of Michael's attacks.
Right, yeah. All stuff that's in there because it's a film made for a certain group of people. Okay. Ratings, Bob.
Okay, I'm not gonna hide this from the audience. Ben and I did not remember what we gave Hatchet when we rated that film.
No, because that's been months.
It's been forever. So we listened to the episode and found where, not the whole thing, we just found where we rated it. I'll be honest. I give Hatchet a 3.
Yeah. You gave it a 3. My rating was a 1.5.
Which is I can't believe you gave it that.
No, makes perfect sense. Because I said we're giving that rating. Like, I like this film because I am in the target audience for this film.
Yeah.
And it, like, as someone in the target audience, I'd rate it a 4. But as, like, a general audience, which, like, how I try to rate these, I try to be objective, I have to give it a 1.5. Because it's a really, really unapproachable film.
It is. It is.
Because, like, besides all the gore and stuff, which some people have problems with, it has a lot of, like, low-budget charm.
Oh, but I love it.
That's only charming if you like that.
I
and
love
if you
it.
don't like it, it's just really bad. Like, that joke where they the joke they had in this film, because it was literally scene for scene from the first film, we mentioned it earlier, is a budget-saving method that's, like, super crappy, but really funny after the 6th time you've seen it.
Hilarious. I laughed so hard when it happened.
Anyways, go ahead, Bob.
So I gave the original a 3.
Yeah.
And I only gave it a 3 because, on God, I would have given it a higher score.
No, I think you agreed with me where you're like probably a 4.
Yeah, probably
for, like,
a 4.
You personally.
Yeah, because I just enjoy that movie and I like the charm. This movie is missing the charm of all the B-movie bullshit, okay? Which makes me want to bring my score down. But it's way more of a movie than the original. Like, it takes all of the parts of the original and polishes them to make them more approachable for a different audience, which I appreciate because it means that more people can watch this film and then get into the genre. All the kills are still over the top. They're all still bloody, disgusting. They're all still there. I think I'm going to have to give it a 3.5. Mostly because of, like, it just takes all of the parts that the original set up and polishes them. Gives us more Victor Crowley backstory, which I like. All the acting is good. I enjoy seeing, Daniel Harris in another film. I like that Tony Todd has more of a role in this film as Reverend Zombie. I think he's pretty great. I like him a lot.
Yeah, Tony Todd's always great.
Yeah. Kane Hodder gets some non-Victor Crowley screen time as Thomas Crowley doing more, like, acting actual stuff. And I think because it's more approachable, I'm going to give it a 3.5. Also, I think a lot of the practicals look a lot better.
Yeah.
They're a lot more refined. They're a lot more, I don't want to say unique, but interesting. Because, the first film, hack and slash. This one, it's like, my God, they just did that.
Yeah.
So I think I have to give it 3.5.
Okay. And I'm just going to ask, because we talked about this already for the first one. Is that like a 3.5 both on, like, approachability but also on your personal enjoyment?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, they're actually the same thing this time.
Yeah. I liked
Okay.
it. I think I probably enjoyed the first one more, but I still enjoy this film a lot.
Okay. Fair enough. It's going to be one of those rare times where I rate it higher than Bob.
Really?
I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
Okay. So, I need to come right off the bat and say that I think I might enjoy the first film a little bit better than this one. I know I said it, like, and we just talked about how I would have rated that one a 4. So technically probably, like, the same rating in enjoyment levels. But I do enjoy that one a little bit more. because like target audience stuff. But I do think this one deserves a 4. In part because it's a lot more approachable. Like all the characterization's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier to watch. Everything feels a little bit more polished and it's quick to the uptake. And just like overall a higher quality movie. And so I don't think there's a lot of the issues there that like really took away 2.5 points
Yeah.
on my original review.
Jesus Christ.
Point being is I think this film easily makes it to a 3. Like it's a good sequel.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty solid. But I think the real reason that I think it gets more than a 3 and it goes above and beyond is because, as I said to you earlier, Bob, this film is like a really good summation of slasher sequels, which you're not familiar with, but I am. And it really just does a lot to encapsulate that. Just like the added goofiness and like gore, and then just focus on the killer and less on the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
Just all the little stuff you expect from a slasher sequel was parodied here to like very good levels. Like even all the characters we get to see are just like classic sequel archetypes. You know, very bare bones like slasher characters that you expect to be victims. Basically, this film does what the first one did, which is like parodied a genre, or not a genre, but a group of films in the slasher genre.
Mm-hmm.
But it does so while being a lot more approachable to not only a general audience, but like fans of horror in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because while I really, really like the low-budget B-movie aesthetic of the first one, in fact, I find a lot of the low-budget jokes in that film very, very funny.
Oh, they're so funny.
And I kind of miss it in this film, and I find this film a lot less funny for that reason.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I didn't give it a 4.
But it does manage to have all those homages while still being like a good film.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's some goofy kills in this film.
You
know? I just mime slang for Bob.
That one made me. That one.
And that's just
Ugh.
some of the beautiful stuff you see in like sequels. And so
Yeah.
that was great. So yeah, 4.
Yeah, I think the only reason I couldn't give this one a 4 is because I just wanted more of that B movie bullshit from
I
the
know.
original.
But I think that's unfair because that's not what this film is going for.
And that's fair, but I guess this is a situation.
You and your goddamn expectations. But that's fair because it is a sequel and you
There it
expect
is.
more of the same.
I was about to say that I expected more of the same from a sequel, and wasn't disappointed. Like I enjoy this film a crap ton. I think it's really fun, and I get why they didn't do all of that B movie stuff. But I was wanting it a little bit.
Fair. But there's a different tone in this works.
Yeah,
I will say, in the grand scheme of things, I think they're both really good films.
Oh yeah,
They're very comparable.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a Halloween 2 situation, though, where probably the best way to watch this was be straight back to back.
Oh, for sure.
Because the tonal shift works.
Mm-hmm.
Because the cold open for this film works as a very good transition from the grimmer, low-budget, like character-focused first movie
Mm-hmm.
to the second film, which is more slasher-focused and goofy.
Yeah.
Good transition. Good way to watch it back to back. Really like
yeah.
it. So that's how I'd recommend watching it. And I think, irregardless of which one you probably will enjoy more, watching them together will give you the best experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I could totally see that after watching the cold open.
Especially for like little jokes that this film makes that are references to the first one are going to
Mhm.
hit a lot harder because it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the outtakes.
Yeah. I guess we'll see you guys in a minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the outtake section for this episode of Beware the Board. I hope you're enjoying our review of Hatchet 2 so far. I really like this film. I think it's super, super fun and a really great continuation of the series. But if you do not want any spoilers from this outtake section, please skip to 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 38 seconds immediately. This first clip is Ben and I realizing our mistake and going back to watch the cold open.
Yeah, you know what our issue is?
What?
We started like 10 minutes into the film.
Oh, what? What happened?
I think Amazon skipped the beginning.
Okay, well, but we saw the intro.
No, we didn't. We missed the cold open.
What the fuck?
I just went back. We're going to watch the cold open and then we'll...
Okay.
Sorry.
What the hell? I thought this was going to be like a Blackwater situation. You somehow clicked on the wrong movie.
No. I was just like... I was watching it and I was like, this doesn't seem right.
Oh my god. Him in HD is scary. Victor Crowley in HD is terrifying.
It's the end of the last movie.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Because you were like, how did she get here?
Ugh. This next clip is our reaction to Jack Cracker giving Mary Beth some piss. Well, Jack Cracker, you look a little crazy. Piss. It's his piss. Don't drink his piss. Don't drink his piss. Oh, God.
The most stressed you've been in a while.
I just don't want to see her drink his piss. This next clip is our reaction to Jack Cracker finding one of the only things left of Doug Shapiro.
At least he stopped her from drinking a pee.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, is this? Oh, it's all the porn from the first movie. Oh my God.
At least Slang survived.
At least something survived. Doug's legacy.
A skeezy, fucked up legacy.
Bad softcore porn. This next clip is our reaction to Jack Cracker finally meeting his end. You're gonna shoot a ghost?
It works.
I know.
He's not a real ghost.
He is.
He's not, though.
What do you mean he's not a real ghost?
Well, a real ghost wouldn't be as physical as he is. He's more of like a revenant slasher.
Oh! Oh my God! Jack Cracker, he's pulling your insides out. Holy shit, this is the R version? Oh, I want to own this on Blu-ray. I already want this movie. Getting choked out by your own intestines? Jesus Christ. That's hard, bro. It popped his noggin! This next clip is my reaction to Sean using Justin's classic tricks.
I think she was lying.
I half expected Victor Crowley to be on the other side of that door and just kill that guy.
No, he has to stay in the swamp.
He's doing a fucking French accent. Oh my God, I hate him. This is incredible. Jesus Christ.
That guy right there?
Yeah.
He played Leatherface.
Oh, that makes sense. Look at him. This next clip is our reaction to some gratuitous violence. Oh my God! Come on, you're really gonna leave Chad to die, Cletus? Oh my God! It's just like pummel him with the bottom side of the axe, right in the face.
No, I think that's the top of the axe.
That's what I mean. Like not the blunt end of the axe.
Well, no, the sharp end of the axe. He's just hitting him with the blunt side of it.
That's what I just said. Oh, it's a lot of blood.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did
when
you
he
see
even
that
coughed.
impact? Like his whole face went inwards.
And then he coughed after. It was awesome. This next clip is our reaction to the death of Cletus. What is this like?
He's trying to start his boat.
I know.
He tried the manual start or the automatic start, and that's not working. So.
Oh, there he is. Was that a Wilhelm scream?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gotta use it.
Oh God. Oh, not boat propeller. Not the propeller. No, Cletus. Cletus, no. Oh. Oh. That's brutal, man. Oh my God. His whole face was gone. This next clip is our reaction to people trying to have sex in the worst of places. What the hell? This lady's getting naked in the swamp. What was that?
Swamp sex.
Swamp sex? I don't want to. No, swamp sex ain't no good.
That's how you get a tick where the sun don't shine.
Or a leech.
Or a leech. Or a skeeter.
A skeeter.
On your Peter.
Whack it off.
Mm-hmm.
This next clip is why you shouldn't have swamp sex, and also a really funny callback to the first film. There it is. That's what I was waiting on. Oh! Oh my god. Jesus Christ. This is why you don't have swamp sex. It ends horribly for everyone.
I don't think this is why you don't have swamp sex.
No, this is definitely why you don't have swamp sex.
I think there's other reasons.
Oh, she just got an axe right in her fucking ass.
All the way through her chest.
Oh my god, that's fucking gnarly. Oh, it's stuck. Just pull the axe out, Victor. Oh, that's a good callback. That was actually really funny. This next clip is our reaction to another one of Victor Crowley's ridiculous weapons.
It sounds like a motor starting.
I love that John still hasn't said a word. He just mouthed, "What the fuck?" Is that a fucking chainsaw?
A very, very, very,
Oh
very
my god,
long
that is a
chainsaw.
What the fuck? That's a really, really long chainsaw. That's an insanely long chainsaw. Ludicrous, in fact.
I think that's the point.
They're really putting a lot of holes in this man. Oh, John just got his junk sawed.
Oh, they both did.
Oh, they're both getting their junk sawed. Oh,
There's
they're
the
their balls.
testicles.
Oh my god, the blood spray on that's gnarly. Nice. This next clip is our reaction to Leatherface versus Jason Voorhees. Oh, the chair! It's like a fucking WWE match. Oh! Oh my god. Yo. Oh! What a clean fucking kill. Oh, the eyes blinking is a little much, but that was awesome.
Yeah, but it fits the aesthetic of this film.
Oh, yeah. This next clip is our reaction to Candyman versus Jason Voorhees. Reverend Zombie faces off with fucking Victor Crowley? What the fuck? If you had asked me what happened in Hatchet 2, I never would have guessed. They took such a nothing side character and made him relevant. Oh. Also, it's Tony Todd, so it's cool. Oh, he's getting... Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, is he going to get completely... Yeah. He's cut in half. Hell yeah. He's still crawling. He's still going. Oh, he's ripping his fucking spine out. Holy shit. That's brutal, dude. Oh, no, he just de-skinned him. That's so much worse. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the outtakes. I don't know how many there are, but I'm sure there are quite a few. Lots of laughing.
Well, maybe.
Lots of laughing and lots of, oh my God.
All right. We don't really have many announcements. Obviously, the classic, go watch us on Fridays. Those are board episodes. But for this thing, we're doing Victor Crowley Wednesday, Hatchet 3, Monday.
Oh, Victor Crowley falls between Hatchet 2 and 3?
No, I just did those backwards. I said Wednesday and then Monday.
Okay.
I didn't fuck that up. Well, I
Oh,
fucked up the order I said them in,
you
but
confused me is what you did.
I did do them in the right dates.
Okay, so,
Since I was apparently confusing, Hatchet 3 is Monday.
yep,
Okay, Bob?
yep.
And then Victor Crowley's Wednesday.
I don't know why you're telling me this. This is for the audience, not me.
You get confused sometimes.
I do get, look, dude, I don't want to, I'm going to out myself. On a episode, I said something was coming out after something else, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
Had to fix that in the edit. I was like, that's not right.
I know.
I had to bleep something, too, because of you. That was your fault.
Yeah, but
Look, it gets really
Whatever.
confusing when we're recording 17 billion episodes a week, and then we
Oh
have
my
to release
God.
them.
I feel like we're so ahead on like recording sometimes.
But we're not.
But we're not. We're just releasing 4 episodes a week, so we have just like 6 recorded at a time.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're just a week. We've just done our week.
Yeah, we're just done for the week, man.
Okay. Anyways, announcements aside, usual stick. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other pod places. We're also on YouTube, which maybe not the most convenient place to watch us, but it's there. It's like big benefit, besides the fact that it's a video, quotation marks there, is that like you can show us some love and we can see it. Like, you know, you can subscribe, you can like videos. Heck, you can hit the bell to notify you whenever we upload. That's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing about the comment section for videos is that you can communicate with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big benefit of YouTube there, because it's one of the only 2 places you can communicate with us.
Unless you have my phone number.
There and Twitter.
If you have my phone number, don't be texting me about this show.
Twitter sucks, so like
Okay,
YouTube's the better
you son
option.
of a bitch.
So yeah, you know, leave us some movie recommendations
We need them. Category recommendations,
or
too.
category recommendations. That's probably more helpful than movie recommendations. 'cause
Yeah.
we're kind of controlled by the format here. Yeah.
Yeah, like Ben was saying, check us out on Twitter at BewareTheBoard. Basically, anything you want to know about the show, I posted on our Twitter. Updates about the show, news about the show, all goes on our Twitter. On Mondays, I post a spoiler post for that week's episode, which is basically a hidden movie cover that you can reveal so you can see the episode, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. See the movie, and you can watch it before we do on the episode so that whenever you listen to the episode, you don't get any spoilers, or we're being really vague about stuff, or like beating around the bush. You kind of know what we're talking about. Makes for a better listening experience. And then on Fridays, or whenever an episode goes live, which is a lot lately, 3 to 4 times a week, I put out a tweet with a link to the episode so you can click on it and go right to the episode. So if you're missing upload or wondering when something went up, it's on our Twitter. Last thing, TikTok. We are doing short form content now on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok at BewareTheBoard for both. So if you're into short form content or short form content's your thing, I'm putting episodes like clips out on there usually. I've actually been going through and rescrubbing old footage to get original new content for those 2 platforms. So if you're looking for new stuff from the show, check us out on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. I guess see you guys next time.
Stay out of the bayou.